Welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Today we're going to take this poor old distressed cherry tree here. It's had a lot of damage. Most of the branches on the bottom were dead, and I took them off a year ago hoping it would heal, but it's all rotten inside of here, so it's got to come down. It's been slowly leaning back, and so what I'm going to do to take it out, I've already done my face cut here. My little saw here, a little John Deere 40V, doesn't have a alignment mark, so I just guesstimated where I wanted to drop it. And I checked it with my handy dandy axe here, stuff you can put it in here like this. You can use it as a sight picture, and it's exactly where I want to drop it. So a couple of things that I've done here. I've got a rope tied on it about 15 feet up here. And then there's this mark I painted right here. It's 10 feet. And I'll be back in a second and I'll show you what that's for. Okay, well, we've got our line tied onto the tree here because it's leaning back. How we're going to do this, we're going to use a come along here to tension it. Like this. When we get ready to cut. Like I say, I want the tree to drop right in here, and the reason I'm using a come along is that I don't have enough room in here to get the tractor in here to pull it out, so it would probably come down and squash me, and I'm allergic to getting squashed. And if I misjudge the height of the tree, I can hide behind this one when it falls. But here's how I determine the height of a tree. Use Mr. Obsolete's vintage tree calculator here, basically a twig. What I do, I break it off, and then I stand back from the tree and I point the top towards the mark on the tree and the bottom with the ground level, and that gives me an idea where it is. And so then I move up to the mark, and then I can calculate it up and make a mental note of the next spot. And so this tree is roughly 30 feet, so when we get it dropped, we'll see how accurate it is. Well, we're back. Here's another view of the tree, and all from here clear down through here, it's got cracks and the sap is coming out, and it's got some rot in it. So even damage clear down here. So anyway, it has to come out. The other trees that I have behind it are doing a lot better since I took out the other trees around here. Now when I was putting the rope and using the ladder here, you can see I've got a tie strap holding the ladder against the tree, because when you're out in a field like this, you might have one of the feet down in a gopher hole, and if it's in the wrong place, you can go flying. This way it's completely safe. And if you look up here, you can see where I've got the rope tied on about 15 feet off. And then goes down over to come along there. Well, you can see the tree has back lean. Starts right here, kind of straightens up, and the top leans out to the back there. So when we cut this, I'm using a come along to pull it up, so it'll be upright, straight up. And I'll do a little more cut and put a little more tension. I don't want to put too much tension on it because I don't want it to split and barber chair on me. So I'll be going back and forth between cutting and pulling it over with the come along there. Okay, the saw we're going to be using to cut the tree down is our little John Deere 40V. We've had in other videos. This originally had a 1/4-inch pitch chain on it, and it was in poor shape. I filed it, did everything I could, and it wouldn't hardly cut. I was really disappointed in the performance. So I changed the bar, the clutch drum, and got a 3/8 low pitch chain on it now. And it cuts really good. It's got medium power. It's not real powerful. It's not as powerful as the McCulloch's, but really smooth and quiet. It's a really nice little saw. I really like running it. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to go over and put some tension on the tree, and then I'll come back and start my back cut a little bit, tension it some more when I get the tree just about straight up, and then I'll cut it a little further and then pull it over. So that's what we're going to do. looks like we've got some tension on it here. Gonna have to hurry, it's starting to rain. Yeah, it was a little bit off, but it's down. So what we're going to do now, get that axe out and start branching it. So we'll be back after it quits raining. Okay, well, the tree's down. Getting ready to branch it. Going to be using our Gransfor Bruks double-headed axe here. Head weighs 3.5 pounds, about 35 inches long. Fairly light, it's 4.5 pounds total, but it's really a superb cutter. So anyway, we'll get started here. You can see that just takes them right off. Very little effort. And again, use a 45-degree angle pretty much to cut them off. You can see right in here. Anyway, we'll get this branched and be back. After we get that done, we'll cut it into 6-foot sections and cut it up for firewood. Okay, well, the tree's down. Got most of the branches off. And minus the little short branches are up here to the bottom of the stump is 29 feet. So I guess pretty darn close. And then I just wanted to briefly talk about why I like using an axe to branch. It's really fast and efficient, plus it's really good exercise. The thing is that when you have a bunch of branches left like this, you know, once you cut them off, you gotta move them and stuff. If you have a chainsaw, either set it down and let it run, or you shut it off and move the branches and then come back and start the chainsaw. Well, this, as soon as you're done using it, you can just set it down, move your branches, you're ready to work again so it's in your hands. Just want to do a quick chop here to show you how easy it is to take these off with the axe and get our eyes on here. But again, when you use a 45-degree angle, just so easy. Nice cuts. that went good. Chips here with me. Oh, pretty nice chips for a little bitty saw with a 3/8 low profile. Beautiful grain structure inside the cherry trees. That's really nice wood. Anyway. Okay, well, we've got the tree cut up here and it's all on the sawbuck. The tree at the butt was a foot. And pieces here are about 8.5 inches or so. This will make really nice firewood. This burns really good. So anyway, we'll get the saw warmed up and we'll be right back. Well, you can see a little saw cut's pretty good. Anything much bigger than this would be working it pretty hard, but that new chain and bar and all the goodies to upgrade it really made a huge difference. It's a nice usable little saw. So the last thing I want to talk about will be our burning of our stumps, and I'll be back in a sec. Well, I wanted to talk about burning stumps. I thought we were through for the season, but we had a bunch more rainstorms come in, and so I was able to work on a couple more. It had a comment about using a different method in burning these stumps out, and his idea was to put a barrel over the stump and then put the big barrel over the top of it, and then put wood around the inside and burn it. And I'm always open to ideas. Maybe people have better ideas than me, but the one thing he mentioned is that turns this into charcoal, which it did, and to accelerate the burning of this stump was about this high. I took the chainsaw and cut slots in it both directions clear down to here to help it burn, and that's where it stopped burning. So anyway, this type of wood requires an extra amount of heat to burn it. It's really resistant to just a cold fire. It won't hardly burn. So my thing that I don't want charcoal left over. I want a complete burnout. And so I'll show you what mine look like. Be back in a sec. Okay, well, here's a couple I burnt out, and you can see they're burnt way down and there's just ash left, and that's my main goal. The one thing that they talked about on the way I was burning is the large amount of fuel I used. Well, the reason for that is this wood doesn't burn very good, and but it's a benefit to me because I've got junk wood everywhere, broken trees, dead trees, everything, and so I'm getting rid of all that trash wood and cleaning the place up, plus I'm getting rid of the stumps. So I think that the barrel, within a barrel, would work good, and maybe fir or softwood or something like that. But I'm going to have to wait till the fall to try it, because it really is the end of the wet season for us, and so I want to still have my place. I don't want it to burn up. Well, we've got the last of the rounds of the cherry tree that we just took down, and here's some of the problems that tree had. This is a bad spot here, and you can see the rot is starting to come in and get into the rings here. It's starting to rot out here. Here's another spot where the rot is starting to etch into it. This is where there's a crack in the wood, so when we split it, we'll use that. Here's another spot where the stuff is getting in there and getting it ready to rot out, and it's got the big damage on the side there. So we'll get ready to split these, and I've highlighted the crack, and you can see they go all over the place. That really makes it a lot easier to split it. And here's a smaller piece. You can see the crack running right through there too. So we'll split this real quick. Right on that crack. This is pretty tough wood. Yeah, look at that beautiful interior of the wood there. It's really nice. Shame we had to take it down. So anyway, give this a quick snap and see if it splits. Just have to put a little more horsepower in it. There again, you can see the rot running all through here. Anyway, so that's it for today. Remember to work smart, and we'll be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.